What's up, Leeds faithful? Your boy is back with some absolutely mental news that's about to shake Elland Road to its core. And trust me, you're going to want to sit down for this one, because what I'm about to tell you will have you jumping off your couch, screaming at your screen, and probably calling your mates immediately. We've got 3 massive developments that have hit in the last 24 hours, and each one is more dramatic than the last. I'm talking about a defender who's basically agreed to jump ship to Germany, an American midfielder who's made a huge decision about his future at the club. Wait for it, a Serbian goal machine who could be heading to LS11 for what might be the bargain of the century. Before we dive into this absolute chaos, smash that like button if you're ready for some serious Leeds drama, and don't forget to subscribe because this transfer window is far from over and you don't want to miss a single twist. The first bombshell involves a fullback who's been posting cryptic messages on social media lately, and let me tell you, Leeds faithful, when players start getting mysterious on Instagram, you know something big is about to go down. But that's just the beginning of this roller coaster. Here we go, Leeds faithful. The cat's out of the bag, and his name is Isaac Schmidt. Remember that cryptic social media activity I mentioned? Well, it all makes sense now because this Swiss international has literally agreed to join Werder Bremen on loan. Can you believe this? The lad who we thought might finally get his breakthrough season under Farke is basically packing his bags for the Bundesliga. Sky Sports Germany is reporting that Schmidt has given Bremen the green light, and honestly, can't blame him one bit. Think about it. The guy came from St. Gallen last summer with all the promise in the world, and what happened? He got pushed to the sidelines while Farke played musical chairs with the full-back positions. The Swiss international threatened to leave if his game time didn't improve during a World Cup year, and guess what? Farke basically called his bluff. But here's where it gets absolutely wild, Leeds faithful. Bremen want him so badly, but Leeds are playing hardball. They're saying, hold up, you can have Schmidt, but only if we find a replacement first. And that replacement? It could be Leicester's James Justin. This is classic Leeds transfer drama at its finest. We've got a player desperate to leave, a German club ready to take him, but we're stuck in limbo because we need bodies. It's like watching a chess match where everyone's moving pieces, but nobody wants to make the first real move. And the timing couldn't be more dramatic. Jadon Bogle is nursing a hip flexor injury, Sam Byram is about to turn 32, and now Schmidt is mentally already in Bremen. The fullback crisis is real, Leeds faithful, and something's got to give before Monday's clash with Everton. Here's what really gets me fired up. Schmidt has been training on grass for a week, showing he's fit and ready, but instead of getting his chance to prove himself in the Premier League, he's being shipped off to Germany. The lad deserves better than this treatment, and Bremen clearly see his potential even if Farke doesn't. But wait, there's more. Drama coming your way, and it involves an American who's been dividing our fan base for months. Hold on to your scarves, Leeds faithful, because just when you thought the transfer window couldn't get any crazier, Brendan Aronson has dropped his own bombshell. The American midfielder, who's had more critics than a Simon Cowell audition, has decided he's not going anywhere. Remember all that talk about him wanting a return to the Bundesliga? Remember the German club sniffing around? Well, forget all of that, because Aronson is apparently happy at Elland Road and ready to fight for his place in the Premier League. This is absolutely massive for several reasons, Leeds faithful. First, it means Farke clearly rates him despite what half of Twitter thinks. The German gaffer hasn't tried to push him out the door, which tells you everything you need to know about his plans for the American. But here's what's got me absolutely buzzing. This decision comes at a time when Leeds have been desperately searching for a new number 10. We missed out on James McAtee. He's heading to Nottingham Forest. Gustavo Hamer isn't interested, and Emi Buendia has played his way back into Aston Villa's plans. The irony is beautiful, Leeds faithful. While everyone's been writing off Aronson, he's quietly had a decent pre-season, and now he might be our main creative option for the Premier League. 9 goals in 46 championship games isn't world class, but it's not terrible either. And get this, transfer expert Graham Bailey is saying that even if Leeds do bring in someone like Leicester's Bilal El-Kanous, who has a 29mm release clause by the way, Aronson still wouldn't leave. Farke wants squad depth, and the American is clearly part of those plans. This means we could be heading into the Premier League with Aronson as a key player, whether the fans like it or not. It's gonna be fascinating to see how he responds to the pressure, especially with Elland Road expecting Premier League magic from day one. What's even more interesting is that Aronson's stats from last season aren't actually that bad when you break them down. 9 goals and 2 assists in 46 games for a team that was grinding out results in the championship. Compare that to his disaster season at Union Berlin, and you can see the improvement under Farke's system. But Leeds faithful, if you think that's dramatic, wait until you hear about the striker situation that's developing. Leeds faithful, sit down, take a deep breath, and prepare yourselves for the most insane transfer story of this entire window. We're not just talking about any striker here. We're talking about Aleksandar Mitrovic, the Serbian goal machine who's been terrorizing defenses in Saudi Arabia. This is absolutely mental. Al Hilal are reportedly ready to pay off his contract and release him. And according to Guy Globo, Leeds United are the most likely destination for this absolute unit of a striker. Let me break this down for you, Leeds faithful. Mitrovic has scored 47 goals in just 2 seasons in the Saudi Pro League. 47. This is a man who knows where the back of the net is, and he's potentially available on what could be a bargain deal because his Saudi club want him gone. Can you imagine the scenes at Elland Road if we pull this off? We've just secured Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and now we could have Mitrovic as well. 2 Premier League proven strikers who know how to score goals at the highest level. But here's what makes this even more dramatic. Mitrovic is 30 years old, 6'2" of pure Serbian steel, and he's been told by manager Simone Inzaghi that he's surplus to requirements at Al Hilal. This isn't just a player looking for a move. This is a world-class striker who's been pushed out and needs a new home. The timing is absolutely perfect, Leeds faithful. Patrick Bamford seems to be out of Falk's plans. Mateo Joseph has gone to Mallorca on loan, and we desperately need firepower for our Premier League survival mission. Mitrovic proved he can cut it in the English top flight with Fulham, and his physical presence would give Farke a completely different tactical option. Think about it. Calvert-Lewin with his pace and movement, Mitrovic with his power and aerial ability, and potentially Aronson creating chances behind them. That's a front line that could genuinely keep us in the Premier League. But Leeds faithful, here's the thing that's got me absolutely buzzing about all 3 of these stories. They're all connected. Schmidt leaving means we need defensive reinforcements. Aronson staying gives us creativity, and Mitrovic arriving would give us the goal-scoring threat we've been crying out for. This is Daniel Farke building a squad for Premier League survival, and every single one of these decisions could define our entire season. Will Schmidt's departure come back to haunt us? Can Aronson finally prove his doubters wrong? And most importantly, will we pull off the Mitrovic deal that could be the difference between staying up and going back down? The window closes in just over 2 weeks, and with each passing day, the pressure builds. Mitrovic could be training at Thorpe Arch within days if Al Hilal pulled the trigger on his release, and imagine the scenes when he walks out at Elland Road for the first time. This could be the signing that changes everything for Leeds United. Leeds faithful, smash that subscribe button because this transfer window is far from over. And if these last 24 hours have taught us anything, it's that anything can happen at Leeds United. Drop your predictions in the comments. Do you think Mitrovic is the missing piece that could keep us in the Premier League? Or are we setting ourselves up for another heartbreak? Marching on together.